There's a moment you'll remember, not because it was loud, but because it was silent. A moment when you looked into someone's eyes and knew they didn't respect you. They nodded, smiled, obeyed, but behind their eyes, defiance, resentment, because you forced them, because you pushed too hard, because you mistook domination for leadership. And now they're plotting, quietly, waiting for your guard to slip, because power acquired through force alone always breeds hidden rebellion. You've tried to lead. You've shouted, threatened, controlled. You thought strength was pressure, volume, control. But now you're tired. You're surrounded by people who comply, but never commit, who follow, but never believe. And inside you burns a truth you've denied too long. They never followed me. They feared me. And that's why you're alone. That's why you're stuck. But it ends today. Today I will teach you a secret power more dangerous than brute force. A power that shapes behavior from the inside out. A power that bends minds without lifting a finger. The power to guide without force. Let me rip the blindfold from your eyes. Control is an illusion. The more you chase it, the more it slips from your grip. True power isn't about chains. It's about choice. And when people believe it was their choice, they never rebel. They defend it. They protect it. They fight for it. That's why the most powerful leaders, manipulators, kings, and revolutionaries don't scream. They whisper. They guide. They plant thoughts so deeply, the target believes the idea was born in their own mind. Napoleon didn't conquer Europe by barking orders. He seduced loyalty. Oppenheimer didn't force minds, he fascinated them. Machiavelli warned, it's better to be feared than loved, but best to control the illusion that you are both. Power doesn't come from pressure. It comes from perception. And perception is a game you must master, or forever remain a brute in a world of architects. If you want to guide people without force, then listen closely. You must become a seducer of minds. And seduction, real seduction, is never aggressive. It's invisible. It's a dance, not a demand. Here's the formula. Mirror their desires. Whisper their fears. Offer salvation without directly offering anything. When someone feels seen, they open up. When someone feels understood, they trust. When someone believes the path was their idea, they follow with fire in their heart. So how do you use this? Let me make it real. Imagine someone stubborn. You could argue, push, threaten, or you could say, I used to think the same way you did, until I discovered something I wasn't ready for. You've just mirrored their belief. Now you've whispered curiosity, and their mind leans forward. They want to know. They need to know. Now you say, of course it's not for everyone. Most people need more time. Boom. Their pride is triggered. They want to prove they're not like most people. And now they're chasing the idea. You didn't force them. You guided them with a whisper. This is how masters control. Not through power, but through precision. Here's what you must etch into your psyche. The best manipulation is undetectable. Like a shadow guiding the blade. You don't need to dominate the room. You just need to own the frame. The frame is the invisible lens through which people interpret reality. Control the frame, and you control everything. Let me give you tools you can use now, because theory is useless without execution. 1. The invisible frame. Instead of saying, this is what you need to do, say, most people in your position usually choose X. That's how they get ahead. You've created a frame, a path. It's not an order. It's an invitation to be superior. And humans are addicted to superiority. 2. Strategic withdrawal. When someone resists, don't fight. Withdraw. Say, you know what? I think you're right. Then go silent. Their brain short circuits. Because humans hate unresolved tension. They will revisit the argument in their head. And in that quiet battlefield, your words take root. By withdrawing, you let them fight themselves. 3. Guided ownership. Never say, that was my idea. Let them own it. Let them take the credit. Because when ego is satisfied, behavior is solidified. Give them the stage so they build the house you designed. You must understand. Tension is not your enemy. It's your weapon. Create tension, and people lean in. Hold back, and they hunger. Say less, and their minds obsess. Why do cult leaders rarely yell? Why do mystics speak in riddles? Why do master negotiators pause before answering? Because silence magnifies authority. Because mystery creates tension. Because the human brain will do anything to resolve uncertainty. So here's your tactic. Start making fewer statements. Ask better questions. Why do you think that works? What's stopping you from owning this moment? If nothing changes, what happens in a year? Do you see it? You're not pushing. You're pulling. You're letting tension do the heavy lifting. And now they're thinking. Now they're moving. Not because you forced them, but because they couldn't sit still any longer. This is power. The kind that lasts. The kind that builds empires. Let's go deeper. Let's touch the root of manipulation. The pain they refuse to face. Every human is driven by a hidden wound. A need they hide behind masks. Your job is to find it. Is it a need to be respected? To feel safe? To be seen? To prove someone wrong? Find the wound, and you own the person. But use this power wisely. Because the line between influence and destruction is razor thin. Here's your map. Observe. Not what they say, but what they avoid. Question. Gently press on the silence. Offer light. Position yourself as the bridge, not the rescuer. Let them come to you. Let them believe it was their decision. Because once they do, your control is absolute. This is not kindness. It's strategy. It's war disguised as wisdom. The final truth most will never grasp. Sometimes the most powerful move is to vanish. There are moments when silence is louder than words. When absence makes your presence 10 times stronger. When walking away makes them chase you. You must become comfortable with being the ghost, not to avoid confrontation, but to let your influence echo. Let them feel your absence. Let them miss your guidance. Let the emptiness haunt them. Because when you return, they will listen. They will crave your direction. And they will follow, not because they were told to, but because they can't imagine moving forward without you. You came here for answers, but now you leave with weapons. No more brute force. No more desperate commands. No more exhausting battles for respect. From this day forward, you become the architect of minds. The whisper in the dark. The hand behind the throne. The presence that shapes without pressure. You will no longer scream to be heard. You will speak once and they will lean in. You will no longer chase influence. It will orbit around you. Because you are no longer the hammer. You are the magnet. You draw minds. You direct movements. And you do it without force. So rise. Master the shadows. Command without control. Guide without force. And let the world never again mistake silence for weakness. Now go. Bend the world without breaking it. Shape minds without ever shouting. Build empires with a whisper. Because real power doesn't push, it pulls.